Welcome. We're back. A little bit of a different type of video. If you want to see more videos like this, just let me know in the comments. But there's a potential new EV stock. We're going to talk about a potential launch date and IPO later, but it's called Rivian. Have not looked too much into it, so I'm going to do that with everybody here in the video today. But what I'm getting so far, just looking through a few articles on the website, it's very interesting. I've heard a lot about Rivian. A lot of people I talk to are pretty hyped up for this company. And really, it kind of feels like a mix between Fisker and CCIV or Lucid. And that's pretty interesting. So they have, for launch, they have a pickup truck and an SUV. And the reason I say it's kind of like Fisker is because they're really going for that vegan friendly, like the interior and carbon free emissions. And like, I mean, obviously all EVs are, but they want to be very carbon neutral, especially with production. And it's just, they have a lot that's similar to Fisker. Even if you look at their, we're going to talk about it later, their program of, ordering it through the app and getting serviced through like a mobile team. It's like very new tech. I mean, Tesla kind of does that. CCIV actually, I'm not too sure, or Lucid. But it's really interesting. And then on the flip side, they don't really have like the price point that Fisker has, which is 37.5. They kind of have around like a 70K starting price point, which is therefore similar to Lucid. So it's kind of like the potential scalability of Fisker with the premium of Lucid mixed together. So we're looking at the website here first. I'm going to scroll down a little bit. We're just going to look through everything. I have also a few articles pulled up. It's not going to take too long. But if we scroll on over here, you can see this is what I was talking about, the similarity to Fisker. Actually, you can't see. Let me do this. All right. They want to have their batteries have multiple life cycles, 100% animal-free materials, really tapping into that new culture of just a cleaner earth, right? And that's what a lot of these EV companies are doing. But one thing that a lot don't have is recyclable material and just really focusing on start to finish completely, not natural, but much more friendly for the environment. So I mean, look at this. They have containers that are plant that are reusable and made from plastics in the ocean. Like, I'm saying, everything that they're trying to make from not only the vehicle, but actually their production. They're trying to make it as clean as possible. With their operations, they have a network of offices, test labs, experience centers. I'm just reading, as you can see. They have a 2028 net zero commitment. And yeah, it's pretty interesting. I'm just going to skip through this one. And then we're going to look at the vehicles, and then we're going to get into other articles. But they have the R1T and the R1S. So the R1T is pretty much the truck, and the S is like the SUV. In terms of design, I think the truck looks pretty good. The SUV, not really my taste with like the kind of blocky design, but to each their own. I mean, this has nothing to do with the company. That's all kind of subjective. Just give my opinions there. But the truck looks pretty nice to me. As you can see, starting at 67.5 with a 300-mile range for the truck, and then for the SUV starting at 70K with again a 300-mile range. So I'm not sure if that's the most competitive specs. We're going to look more into the specs in a second based on price point. But if we go over to performance, 0 to 60 as quick as 3 seconds, depending on your tire selection. Safety, this is the body of the car. I'm not really a car person, but you take that as you want to. They're saying that they have like the low center of gravity. Most cars will say that, or most pickup trucks. Powertrain, thermal system, and frame structure to tow up to 11,000 pounds. I actually don't know if that's good or bad. And I'm sorry, you can't even read this. I just realized that. 50% reduction in range if you're towing at full capacity, which that's pretty interesting. I don't really know how that's going to work out for a lot of people who do more heavy duty work with pickup trucks. That's a little bit, I don't know if all the EV truck or pickup can't talk. I don't know if all the EV pickup truck companies have that same, not issue, but pullback, I guess, on the reduction, but not too sure how I feel about that. Scrolling down if there's anything else here. In our early years, we hit our EV powertrain beneath the body of other trucks. We even tracked it on fake exhaust pipes. Past October, they completed the longest off-road navigation rally in the US, which is pretty interesting for an early production prototype. So a lot of testing. This company is not new. I believe it was founded around 2009. So they've had a lot of work go into it. It's kind of, especially Lucid and Rivian, they're definitely more ahead of Fisker. Production is already begun, and they're aiming for targets, or their targets for cars on the road are pretty soon, which we're also going to talk about in a little bit. So really just a lot of off-roading here for EVs. We'll see how this compares to Ford. Cloud-based architecture and network of onboard computers. Interior, nice. A lot of exterior colors, I like that. I really like the look of this truck quite a bit. Panoramic roof, and yeah, 4G and Wi-Fi capabilities, vegan leather. We'll move on to the SUV, and let's see over here. Also 0 to 60 targeting for 3 seconds. We look at the safety. This is the shell of the car. Towing up to 7,700 pounds. It's an SUV. Platform includes the battery pack, drive unit, suspension, thermal and lower body structure. Let's scroll down a little bit, and let's see what else we got here. Again, same exact technology, I would assume. I believe the cars actually have similar platforms from what I was reading earlier. Let's see, anything here? Not really. Again, for the colors, quite a bit of options. Pretty much very similar vehicles, aside from the actual SUV compared to pickup truck. But you just take a look at them; they're not too different, especially if you look at the front side. So similar prices, similar specs. Just one's a pickup truck, one's an SUV. Moving on to the experience tab. This is what I was talking about. Relating it to Fisker, you can manage everything on your phone through the computer. I don't even know if this is like, the casual thing now for just combustion vehicles and, Ford and all those companies, but it's interesting that we're seeing how even cars are switching over to D2C, which is very cool. Let's see what else we got here. Adventure Network will let you easily explore more than 3,500 fast chargers at over 600 sites planned in the US and Canada. Not too sure what their outlook on international is. I haven't really seen much about that yet. This is also us talking about, let's see, our fleet of mobile service vans staffed with Rivian technicians and our network of service centers. They're trying to make it very flexible, just like Fisker, flexi leases. Moving on, that's pretty much the website. Actually, there's one more thing from the website. We have the founder, RG Scaringe. I'm so sorry if I messed that up, but founded in 2009. Let's see what else here. We got MIT, MS, and PhD. Not too much info on him. I think I looked up the net worth. It was around 3 billion. Couldn't really find much of any past experience looking at his LinkedIn and stuff, but I didn't really read too much into it. Moving on over here, based in California with a manufacturing plant in Illinois, additional locations in Michigan, Arizona, Vancouver, and England. So that could be, the international approach. And then they have some descriptions of everything. Let's see over here. Let me scroll up so you can see that. Manufacturing and engineering in Illinois. At Plymouth, you have vehicle engineering. In California, you have cloud connectivity in Irvine, California. You have head office, okay. 3 places in California, Carson as well. Electric power conversion in Arizona. You have a core team of engineers and technicians for testing. And in the UK, they have engineers for advanced concepts, body and lighting teams. They're not only focused on making sure R1T and R1S exceed customer expectations, but also future Rivian products, hint, hint. And then Vancouver is the home to their vehicle management software teams. So a lot of things are spread out. They have quite a few jobs already, and they want a lot more jobs. So they're really trying to build up the company. And if we go over here, let me try and find the article. I pulled up quite a few for everybody. Where was it? It was talking about the potential launch date. So this is, I don't know, I said these, but so they pretty much are going to be having their first round of vehicles in July. It was a month later than they originally promised. But I believe 2022 is, in the spring. I don't know. I'm so sorry for my camera blocking everything, but in the spring of 2022 is really when they're looking to really put a lot of cars on the road. And I'm just trying to find the article with, here we go. So let me scroll up. On February 9th, Bloomberg reported that Rivian aims to IPO as early as September 2021. I've seen other sources say early 2022. And one other thing I want to talk about is they have some pretty interesting backers. We have, so you can see right here, the company is working with Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, and Morgan Stanley for the IPO targeting a $70 billion valuation, which was also reported by Bloomberg literally last Friday. So I'm sorry for all the ads. These websites suck, but very interesting there. And then you have Amazon and Ford putting investments into this company. That's one of the biggest deals I think we have right here. Obviously huge companies. One is a tech giant. The other one is one of the most well-known car companies in the world. Those are definitely two companies you would like to see backing an EV. I think that's very strong. I mean, Lucid has a very good team. Fisker is a little bit more newer. They don't have much well-known backing aside from Bill McDermott, and they also have Apollo Global Management who led this back with them. But very, very interesting. Back in, what does it say here? In January, a valuation of 27.6 billion, but now we just saw the 70 billion reported last Friday. So again, a lot of hype is being built around this company. I mean, just based on what I'm reading, we could see an IPO between September of this year to towards the beginning of 2022. There's a couple other articles. We already looked at that one and this one. So yeah, electric truck maker Rivian, backed by Amazon, Ford, raises $1.3 billion, which is not insane, but just the backers that they have, Amazon and Ford, is much more important. Anything here that's interesting I want to talk about? I think we talked about most of that. Previous funding rounds this year totaled 1.5 billion, including 700 million from Amazon, 500 million from Ford. I think I read somewhere that they, I think it was maybe Ford, it could have been Ford or Amazon, increased their investment in Rivian lately or recently. And they've also had backing from Saudi Arabia and London's Standard Chartered Bank. So a lot of interesting backing, a lot of hype going towards Rivian. I'm interested to see where this takes off. I want to keep this video kind of short. I don't want to put so much DD into the company yet, just because there's so much more to come out and it's not coming out for some time, or at least the stock isn't coming out for some time. So I'm definitely going to make an update video in the future. This is just kind of like the introduction, mainly for people who knew nothing about it. I'm sure there's other videos which went more in depth, but I'll do that later on. So I hope you enjoyed this kind of intro to this new potential EV stock that's very hyped up. We'll see where this all, or how this all pans out in 5 years, not only for Rivian, but all these new EV companies. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Peace out.